Today's video is about toxic in-laws. Part 2 will follow next week. I've been working on a book for a while now about toxic narcissistic in-laws. I've been struggling to write it though. I've been really distracted by things going on in my life since I started this book a couple of years ago. I also felt that I needed to put it on the back burner to write a couple other books. This topic is also a very hard one for me to write about because I've been through so much with my husband's family. These issues have made this one tough book to write. That being said, I believe the topic is a very important one, so I will finish it. It just may take a little time. I'm hoping by the time this video airs in a few months that my book will be finished. When it is, you can see it as soon as it's available on my website at www.cynthiabaileyroad.com. Now, since my book has been delayed, here's a video to help you identify whether or not your in-laws are toxic. I'll speak from the perspective of a daughter-in-law with a toxic mother-in-law because that's where most of my experience is, as well as most of the experiences of people I've spoken with on this topic. The information is also good for sons-in-law, or those with toxic sisters-in-law, fathers-in-law, etc. Does your mother-in-law ignore you? I mean, does she walk in a room when you're there and not say hi or even acknowledge your presence? Little things like that. The purpose of this behavior is to show you that you mean nothing to her. Does she refuse to accept responsibility for treating you badly? Rather than say something like, "I'm sorry, I should not have said that," does she make excuses for her words or actions or even deny them completely? This is a huge red flag. Functional people accept responsibility for the things they say and do. Does your mother-in-law have a different personality depending on whether or not you two are alone or if there's others around? This is another big red flag. Any abuser will behave differently to their victim depending on whether or not they're witnesses. Abusers want to hide their abuse from everyone but the victim. Does she expect you to be blindly devoted to her family, even to the point of rejecting your own family and friends? Many toxic mothers-in-law remind me of the Borg from the old TV show Star Trek: Next Generation. They expect their son's or daughter's new spouse to become completely enmeshed in their new in-law family, forgetting everyone from their previous life. Like the Borg, many toxic mothers-in-law expect their new sons or daughters-in-law to adapt to their opinions, their religion, way of life, etc. Individuality is highly discouraged by toxic mothers-in-law. Excuse me. I once told my late mother-in-law how I hate to cook. I do it, but I hate it. For Christmas a couple months later, she and her two daughters gave me nothing but cookbooks, utensils, food, and other cooking paraphernalia. Does your mother-in-law show you no respect? Toxic mothers-in-law show no respect for personal space, choices, likes, dislikes, parenting skills, and even boundaries. Does your mother-in-law make it clear that she doesn't like you? Unless you abuse your mother-in-law's adult child or your children, if your mother-in-law had any respect whatsoever for her adult child, she would be civil to you no matter how much she disliked you. Her inability to be civil, even if only for the sake of her adult child, is proof that she's toxic. Is she manipulative and controlling? Toxic people, in particular narcissists, must be in charge. Chances are your mother-in-law controls her spouse and children. Since you married one of her children, she expects you to be as controllable and easily manipulated as everybody else. When you say no and refuse to let that happen, she's not happy. Is your toxic mother-in-law nice to you, but it's short-lived and in front of others only? Very few people are cruel 100% of the time. Toxic people bring out their nice side when it can be advantageous to them. Being nice sometimes will make their victim want to see it more, so they work harder to try to please this toxic person. Also, being nice to a victim in front of others helps the toxic person prove to others that if you complain about the relationship, you're the problem. Part 2 airs next week, and it'll discuss some ways that you can deal with these toxic people. Thank you for watching my video.